about. Yeah, I mean, we played pretty well. I mean, it's a soft free kick to give up late in the half. Like, there's no challenge is the problem. It's not good execution by them, but we got everyone in the box. Nobody even challenged. So to me, to have a free header at that point in the game is poor defending. And then, the only thing I would change is I think we should be covering each other better. When someone gets dribbled, there should be too many balls went through the middle where we should be off shoulders. Like, the ball shouldn't go through the middle park as easy as it did. At the end of the game, everyone's chasing up high and defenders are playing super deep, and there's a lot of space in the middle of the field that they're getting balls through us and running through us, and that shouldn't happen. And that leads to free kicks and chances. It's frustrating that we're giving up, some soft goals. I don't think we're defending it at the best level that we're capable of right now, and that's frustrating. And it's a team thing. Even then, I still don't think we have to lunge in on every ball around the edge of the box. There's numbers there. It's focus and discipline, and fortunately we had a 2-goal lead, but they had chances before we got the third goal. They didn't have much, but I mean, once it was 3-1, they were getting free kicks because we're too stretched. We don't have the covering defender in a good area, so by the time they get over there, they're late, stick a leg out, foul. So now dangerous balls are whipped in our box. Well, they already caught us once in the first half. Their service is going to be good. To me, we're going to have to be able to play the full 90 minutes next week, and we're going to have to be able to do that the last week of the season in Detroit. We're going to certainly have to be able to do it at playoff time. So hopefully we can get that out of our system. But we've been talking about it for the last 3 weeks now. We've been giving up sloppy goals, in the late stages of games, or even in the first half. So, but yeah, if I measure quality of some of the movements, that the how disruptive we were at times where they really struggled to get out of their end. Even the response at halftime, you give up that goal, the momentum can change. I thought we did a good job in the second half of reestablishing ourselves. And instead of trying to hang on to 2-1, I think we were pushing to try to get a third goal. And I thought we were doing the right things. And so, there were a lot of positives to take from tonight. Hopefully we can learn from a few things and move on and be ready for a good performance next week in Tampa.
Bob, execution, especially on the first goal in the final third, what are your thoughts overall in terms of your team's execution on the 2 more sets?
On the goal, it was great. On the first goal, but we're also wasting a lot of moments. I mean, we've gotten better in that area, but even late in the game, we lost balls we should have never lost. We forced passes that weren't on. That game should have been put away, but we're turning balls up. And I think it's something that all teams have to work hard at, and there's never a given. It's not as simple as when you ride a bike, you know how to ride a bike. Every defense defends differently. You have to constantly be evolving as a player to continue to have success. Scoring goals is the hardest thing to do. When you're scoring goals, teams will put up different defenses, different resistance. So it's not a fixed thing like, hey, once we got it down every game, we're going to be able to do this. We're going to play teams in the playoffs that will structure their back line different, have bigger athletes, maybe restarts will be harder to come by. Maybe we've got to do it in the run of play. Maybe we got to do it forcing a turnover. And so I think we took a lot of things they gave us tonight and found gaps and found spaces and made some good runs from our wingbacks and our midfielders. And I thought Dequan and Pisa were pretty lively. Holding balls, connecting, spinning, and I thought we had 2 or 3 other really good moments in the first half where potentially could have had 1 or 2 more and then back in net by halftime. So it's good when we created chances. It wasn't. We've had some games where I've come up here and said we're not creating enough. And I think today we did. I would like to see even at 3-1 us to make good decisions on the ball and be able to extend the lead or hold it there. But I don't think it's because of the changes. I think we get tired. Our backs don't close space, and if there's space in front of them, they need to organize the midfielders. Like, to me, it's ridiculous to think that Danny Griffin isn't telling Mark Ibarra, sit in here, let's be connected. You got one chasing way over here, and there's big holes in the middle of the field, and nobody in the back is fixing it, and our midfielders aren't fixing it. And this is what I talked to him about after, and come on, use our common sense. Like we're beating ourselves in those moments because we don't have a shape. We're running around instead of doing the simple things well. You need to think. You need to be efficient. So, we'll address those things. We'll show them some things on tape so they know, and hopefully we'll do a better job next week.
You mentioned next week. Obviously, it's the game basically for first overall. Don't feel the bench. How are you focused? Or are you just trying to take it one day? Just pick one game.
Well, listen, you could say, if you get a tie, but if you get a tie, you let Sacramento back in it. There's no guarantee you're going to win in Detroit. Like, I think if you win it, you clinch first, period. So I think all week we're going to talk about going to Tampa Bay and winning. Because if you tie or lose, if you don't get a result, you open the door potentially for Charleston. You open the door, unless they drop points tonight, but you potentially open the door for Charleston. You open the door for Sacramento. So the reality is, if you win the game, and I think, there's different scenarios. If Matt's probably already looked this up, but for us, I know we have to play. And I know the scenarios. I'm just not going to say them in a quote. And, to me, it's not. The mission this week was take care of this game. There will be less variables, and we will have a clearer picture of what we have to do in Tampa Bay when there's only 2 games left than right now with 3 games left. So let's not let home points get away from us. Let's finish the job. It's what we said all week. So we completed that mission tonight to get our max points. And we knew, obviously, after this game, and we didn't have the slip up. So now we got to the game that we knew we were going to have to play 6 weeks ago. People were looking at that and aware of that, and a lot has happened since, and we've strengthened our position, but the job's not done yet. So now we go into that. But I think our mindset has to be, to go close the door, because otherwise you're playing with fire and you're letting other teams in it. Obviously Tampa's going to know what they have to do and try to get a result and get the standings back level where, there's still soccer to play on last weekend as well.
What do you take out of that last time you played them here?
Who?
Tampa. What do you take out of that game that you can use next time?
Not much. I don't think we played particularly well. We got the goal. They didn't create a lot. I don't think either team played close to their best soccer. It was a game with very few chances either way. I expect them to be a lot more proactive attacking and put a lot more heat on us. We're going to have to defend well as a team, and one of the ways we can defend them is attacking, and tonight, until late in the first half, they didn't create a lot, and they have very good. Marcus Epps and Goodrum and Milo Yosef are three of the faster attackers in the game. They're dangerous. They were defending. They weren't getting those opportunities to get on the ball and do a lot. A lot was us, and that's not easy to do going into Tampa. But we've got to be brave, and we're going to have to go and play. And I think we should understand that we went into San Antonio and we went into New England, and we've had good teams. It's not going to be easy for either team probably next week, and it may come down to who wants it more on the night, but we need to go and play and assert ourselves rather than being passive, and I think that can allow us to shut the door. Obviously, winning all these games has put us in a little bit of an advantageous position, but it's still something where going in the playoffs, it's a game you're going to want to go and play well regardless. And I think that's probably what we're going to focus on this week the most is, let's go and take matters into our own hands.